Hello and welcome to this West Yorkshire football show special Huddersfield Town chat with me, your host Stephen Downs. And as usual in these Town Talk specials, we've got Mr. Callum Scott and Mr. Zach Wood. We'll be talking all things Huddersfield Town as they virtually, nearly, pretty much absolutely have confirmed their relegation to League One, a division we haven't played in for 12 years. We haven't played Stockport for 14 years, so I can't wait for that to happen again. We wish we could sit here and say that we were going for promotion, but it's a very different feeling right now in the John Smith Stadium with "You're not fit to wear the shirt" sang at the end of the game. Good evening, gents. Callum, you're fit and firing. I can tell that you're ready to go. And Zach, our international fan who flies all over the world. He's got a bit of edit, but he's on here to talk all things Town. First of all, boys, Swansea 4, Huddersfield Town 0. Zach, your initial reaction to what we saw at the John Smith Stadium yesterday?
Where to begin, mate?
Begin at the beginning.
Yeah, so thankfully I only saw two of the goals. And for them poor folk that stayed behind to sing "You're not fit to wear the shirt," I mean, honestly, I think they need medication. If they were still there at 4-0, mate, and I know you were one of them, Steve, I genuinely pity you, mate. Absolutely shambolic from start to finish. There's no shots on target, no game plan. Just we're doomed, absolutely doomed, mate. From after 10 minutes yesterday, you knew exactly what type of performance it were. It was exactly the same as Stoke at home, but Swansea have more quality than Stoke. We got what we deserved. We're going to get what we deserved. Huddersfield down.
Yeah, Callum, your thoughts, initial thoughts, first of all.
Again, very similar. Similar start of the game to Millwall. The only difference being that we were up against a team that could break us down and that could pass the ball around us, and that's exactly what they did. And you know, we might have held out in the first half. We by no means did ourselves proud in any sense of the word, but then the house of cards fell again, and somehow we've gone from 0-0 to 4-0 in the blink of an eye. And you're like sitting there again, you're thinking, God, just let it all be over.
Yeah. I for my thoughts, I feel the first half we battled away without creating much quality. We tried, but without sort of any end product at all. Again, I don't know why we played Bergsorg up front. Surely we've learned for the 15th time this season, he's not a striker. I don't know why Healy's not started when he can clearly score goals at this level. And Radulovic, whatever anybody thinks of him, can be a handful at times. And we just started like it was a weird atmosphere. First of all, I want to say this. I want to get this out of the way. We were asked all week by pretty much every member, plus the cleaners on Twitter, on Facebook, on bloody Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want, to turn up to the ground. The fans turned up to the ground. We sang and shouted and cheered for, definitely through the first half and up to I would say, 2-0. And I just think that there was a bit of hypocrisy by the players, particularly, to give out all them messages all week and turn out that crap performance in what had to be a must-win game. Couldn't be a draw. It couldn't be a defeat. It had to be 3 points. And they didn't turn up, and they failed the supporters again. The loyal fans of this football club, they have failed and miserably failed. And now it looks like we've got 2 games left in the Championship for at least 46 more fixtures, which will be in League One. And when it comes to, putting effort in and trying hard, fine, I'm with them on that. And I can forgive a little bit of quality. But the fact over and over and over again, we've had no quality in fixtures, and certain players which we'll get onto, but my God, they threw the towel in at at 2-0. They absolutely threw the towel in, and that side you could tell it was finished. It's like when a boxer gets a knockout. When Joshua knocked out Ngannou, we were Ngannou. We were on the floor, never getting back up. Zach, yeah, I mean that's just my initial thoughts, mate.
Honestly, I can't disagree with much of that. I do actually disagree with the point about putting effort in. I genuinely do. I think at 1-0 down, we stopped. I mean, that second goal, mate, the keeper's got the ball, right? He's lumped it 60 yards, and there's a Swansea player with 30, 40 yards of open space to run into. Like, the very least, right, you give the ball away, you get back in, you sit in and you win the ball back. We just dawdling back. I honestly couldn't believe it, and that was the last straw for me, mate. Some of the defending was atrocious. Backing off. I mean, how have we not learned his lesson? That, you know, from the Ellis Sims goal at home against Coventry, we've done it 3 times since, where we've backed off players, shown them onto the stronger foot inside the box and just let them score. Like that defending is amateur, mate. And we're going to get what we deserve. Absolutely. Swansea played some good football. I thought they were a good football inside. I thought they'd done well in tight spots to get out. But again, I said it yesterday. I mean, I think I shouted it 3 times in the stands, but our worst attribute is football. Huddersfield Town's worst attribute is football. Stop trying to play football. Stop it. We're crap at it. Give it up. Pointless. Stop trying to give Matty Pearson the ball at right back and ask him to play a pass. He can't.
Why?
He can't do that. He cannot do that. I'm not going to sit on the flash players, right? But why on earth are we trying to play football when it doesn't work? I'd get Danny. He were crying out for Danny Ward. The ball was bouncing off Bergzorg from the 20th minute.
But why are we playing? Why are we playing Matty Pearson at right back in the first place? He's never a right back.
But he doesn't trust the quality of the squad, does he?
No, he doesn't
trust the quality of the squad.
Yeah, but you've got Headley there on the bench, who is a natural fullback. Spencer's a natural right back, and yet he plays Spencer at left back, has Pearson at right back, who, as much as I admire Matty Pearson's effort and ability to work hard, right, which we can't say he hasn't in previous matches and in previous seasons, but his ability on the ball is about as less as what mine is. And I'm no footballer, but by God, like, I can at least trap and pass a ball more than 2 yards. I've never seen a player, by the way, in this division lump the ball into space as much as what Matty Pearson does.
But it's not even just Matty Pearson. Sorry, Cal. It's not even just Matty Pearson, Steve. Like, none of the team can pass a ball 5 yards. None of them.
No.
Absolutely none of them. The quality is shocking. The quality of this squad is horrendous. It's League One, and that's why we ended up there.
But that was one of my main problems yesterday, even before we'd started on our ridiculous tirade of conceding 4 goals, which, like, you know, happened at Preston, now it's happening against Swansea. So when we go 1-0 down against Birmingham, lump on bets for 4-0 because we appear to just quite like that scoreline. But you look, one very particular example, and I'm by no means calling him out to say he was the worst suspect for this because they were all pretty terrible. But you had Sober Thomas, and I watched him try and play an outside of the boot pass. It's like, what? Why? Just turn round and pass the ball behind you if you have to. Stop looking for the most photoreal, like the most intricate way of being able to do what you're trying to do.
Instagram pass, mate. Yeah. Instagram pass, that's what it was.
He'll be changing his profile picture to the Joker again soon, so we'll be fine.
See, I struggle to sit on here and bash Thomas, right? Because he's playing with absolute numpties. Like, some of the balls he puts in, some of the balls are quality though, and there's just no one in there. Like, he put 3 balls in yesterday, right, that went across the face of goal, and you've got Josh Koroma in there, and Bergzorg. They're never going to win an header.
Yeah, but also, I want to bring this point up, right? Thomas beat his man on the line right in front of me, sped down the line, bet the fullback all day long, put the ball in the box, and there was only Bergzorg in the box, and he couldn't be bothered to get.
He didn't move.
No, he didn't move, but he couldn't be bothered to get in front of the bloke that was stood in front of him about 2 yards away to get onto the end of the ball that Thomas had worked his backside off to put in the box. So I will give Thomas that. He does, you know, when it comes to, you know, a little bit I'm giving him Strands here a little bit of quality. He's probably the most technical player we have in the squad.
Yeah.
But that means nothing when you've got, players with like Bergvall who we've seen some bad footballers, by the way, even in the Premier League in years play for Town. But to have such a mad attitude when like you're in a relegation battle, he's about as far from a footballer we need in a relegation battle as you could possibly get, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not by no means am I saying that this isn't becoming like a Sober Thomas hate train. Like there's 11 players that go out on the pitch, and 11 players over the course of the season, we can pick out little bits of quality and we can say they're technically the most gifted we've got. But the fact of the matter is that for every game this season, bar how many wins have we got?
9.
Bar 9.
Yeah, 9.
All of those players collectively have not been good enough.
We've had 17 draws, Cal. 17.
Jesus.
And I think that must be some sort of record that.
Before yesterday we had 9 defeats, 17 draws, and I think 17 losses. I mean that's just that you're never going to survive on that, are you? Just before we carry on, just like to say thanks for everybody watching live. Please share the video, like the video if you can. It all helps. We had 1,000 subscribers the other day, and obviously Zach and Cal, you've been a big part of that. So thanks very much for helping the channel get to that number. Share and like the video and get your comments in. We've had some comments in so far. This is from RL, must be a rugby league fan. Where do we think we're going to end up? I'm sure we'll get onto that. And he also says it's Pearson every time. And I don't know how he's a professional footballer. We've got somebody I think who knows you, Callum, who says, where is it? It's in a relegation battle, and none of them play simple football. Joe Jenkins, his comment here: we can't we can't do the basics. No overlapping fullbacks. You think about Lerver and Smith overlapping Van Lepan and Kachunga when we went up. So yeah, cheers for getting your comments in, guys, and keep them coming along. Zach, I do want to point out though again, like the fact that we didn't start striker, and every single fan before the game, I spoke to literally loads of fans, and nobody said to me, "Don't not play a striker." How have we gone into a game but we need to win and not play the striker? Please answer me that question.
So the 4 games under Worthy,
yeah,
we didn't play a striker. Okay,
right.
Won two of them 4, and I think probably the 4 games where we've played the best football that we've played all season, right? Okay, so there is that you can play without a striker, right? But what that relies on is midfielders that want to get on the ball and play football, right? We at the moment nobody wants the ball. Like, if you see the amount of times we talked about it, I know I made a joke about us trying to play football. We can't play football, but we give the ball to fullbacks, right? And every single midfielder, they run away. They don't want the ball because they don't know how to get the ball and do something with it. And under that short 4 games under Worthy, everyone wanted the ball because confidence was up, but that's gone. That confidence is shot. So if I were Brighton, right, which I'm clearly not as intelligent as him or else I wouldn't. I'd be.
Oh, you are, Zach. You are. Don't put yourself down, son.
But we've got no confidence, right? We're lack of confidence. Nobody wants the ball. Nobody wants to do anything out of the norm, right? And I know Carl's just slated Sober Thomas for trying to play the outside route to Callum, I think it was, wasn't it? That in the first half. Yeah. But nobody wants to do anything out of the norm, right? So when that happens, surely you have to play a striker and just play simple football, right? Get the ball play football in the other team's half, turn the defense as often as you can, and put them under pressure, right? And Danny Ward, yes, Danny Ward has his limitations, right? But what he does do is he makes a centre half defend. Simple as that, right? Because he'll get across the front post if a ball comes into the box. He won't allow him to win headers freely when the ball's lumped up, right? So yesterday, we couldn't play the long ball because there's no one to occupy the defence. So all we were doing was playing the ball, losing the ball, playing the ball, losing the ball. not putting them under any sort of pressure from an attacking sense. And the minute we do that, right, we just go into the shells again. The fans go into the shells, the players go into the shells. So for me, mate, I honestly, when I saw that team sheet yesterday, I was like, it's just Groundhog Day. We just do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. It's not going to change. We're not good at football. We are not good at football. Huddersfield Town Football Club is not a football club right now.
And Cal, the other thing that I spotted on the team sheet that I wasn't that, enthralled by is in a game that we need to go win, he's played Matos and Kasumu as two centre defensive midfielders in the same game. Which is why? Why? I don't get it. I mean, I know Swansea are a good football side, and they did play some good stuff, which I accept, and I agree with Zach. But they hardly went like tooth and nail for it, did they? If we're thinking about the goals, they didn't have to work hard for the goals, did they?
Quite a lot of what made them look good was the fact that we just didn't have an answer to anything. Like is it their second goal where their keeper, or was it the first one where their keeper lumps it forward?
No, that's the second goal. Yeah.
So everyone was saying yesterday, quality touch. What a touch from
no one round him.
But he could have spooned it right to the corner flag and he'd have got there first.
Yeah.
It's not that they're doing anything particularly special. All these teams that come and play us and beat us, they're not brilliant footballing sides. We are just atrocious. We make them look better than what they are. And coming to Matos and Kasumu, like we can sit here and have the debate about who should have gone in that slot or whether they should have played there, but I don't think any of the players offer much in the way of different approaches because I still don't really know what the approach is.
No,
what's the style? What's the? And I appreciate they're not his players, and he's been thrown into a situation that's pretty vile. But what's the style? It seems to change week on week. It's very reactive.
Yeah, and I said this with Moore as well. We'll come on to that in a minute, Cal. Callum has said that Diakabi could have done better. I don't think he even scored for us. I don't know. He's in my top worst 5 footballers I've seen on a football pitch of all time, I have to say. You're doing some good footballing skills if you beat him on a football pitch for absolutely ineptness. Thank you to Rebecca for sharing the podcast. Much appreciated. We've also got Paul. Just watch the extended highlights. Town hit the woodwork twice at a crucial time in the game. Swansea hit a couple of worldies. Also, the fans supported the team right up to the 90 minutes. And at 3 down, I wouldn't say that, but fair enough. Thanks for your contribution, Paul. So in terms of Brian Writer, right? He comes out after the game and he said, we tried to play a pressing style of football, Zach, right? And the only one that was pressing, I mean, you left at a 2-0 down, but the only one I could see that was pressing was Jack Radoni because Bergzorg trotted up and down, didn't really put any pressure on any of them. I think Danny Ward gave up even when he came on, really did it for 5 minutes. Karoma didn't really do it. Thomas tried to do it a bit, but ended up being either really good at some points and then absolutely inept at other points at doing it. So the only one that tried to press, I think, was Jack Radoni. And like Cal says, the style of football that he's known for is a pressing style, but I don't think the players are good enough and I don't think they believe in it. And I don't know what they work on in the training ground because it doesn't look like that they work on anything, to be honest.
So there becomes a point, don't there, Steve, where you can change the manager and change the manager and change the manager, but like you can't make good footballers. You can't make bad footballers good footballers overnight. And I understand you talking about Jack Radoni pressing, right? But Jack Radoni's not in the team to press. Like I want him to do stuff on the ball. Like the ball. And I feel for him because there's little sparks where you think, oh, there's a footballer there, and but then like you say, he's having to press in the midfield because yesterday Kasumu and Matos were so deep, like there was almost on the deep. It was almost on the toes of Helik and Kasumu. So Swansea were allowing us to half press because it was half-hearted. The press was half-hearted. Like you say, it was in patches and in spells. And I get you can't press for 90 minutes, right? Because It's just impossible this time.
No, but you've got to do it as a team, Zach. That's my point.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So Swansea, quite early on in that game, realised that we weren't pressing as a team, right? And you saw them pass the ball around us, little triangles. They would, they draw Karoma in, and then they draw Thomas in, and they get out of tight spots. And then the amount of space they had in the midfield. There were times when the number 8, I can't remember his name, for Swansea.
Grimes.
Grimes.
Yeah.
And he travelled 40 yards with the ball unopposed because Karoma would try to press, or Bergzorg would try and press, or Jack Radoni would, or Thomas would, one of the front four, right? But then as soon as they beat the press, they were almost on the edge of our D before they were then approached. So for me, we're like, we're either sitting in a low block or we're pressing. Yesterday was like neither or. So
none of it was good. Like the press wasn't good. The press wasn't good.
And we're not good enough to sit in a low block. Like we're not. No. We don't have the attention span as a defensive unit to defend for 90 minutes in a low block. So that's why I couldn't understand that we didn't have a striker on the pitch. Or at least occupy them. Like if you're not going to press as a front three, play 4-4-2, and just play the long ball and occupy the defense. But we're just toothless, mate. And I'm not going to sit here and bash Brighton, right? But I'm telling you now, I'd be absolutely amazed when we drop. If he's still a gaffer next season, I'll be
no chance. I don't know if.
But that to me, this is the naivety of the club, right? Like we almost. I don't know what it's like. The mentality still of the people in charge is Huddersfield Town are too good to get relegated. Well, we're not, and it's happening, right? But they've appointed for the now again. Like I just don't understand how we can go. And I'm not going to keep going over, right? But how we can go from 2 wins and a draw under Neil Warnock, right, and sacking him, and we've only won 7 games since then. Like 7 games under 3 other managers, and 2 of them were under Worthy.
Yeah, but and I agree with that, and I think that the state of the football department at the club is just absolutely in disarray.
It's naive, mate.
It's naive. But it's naive from people that should know better as well, in positions that really they should now not have. I don't know if either of you heard Brian Wright's comments after the game initially. I'm sure you've sort of read up or you've listened to them since. But Paul Ogden on Radio Leeds, Oggy, asked him a very direct question. Are you going to be here next season, whatever happens? And he said, discussions will have to take place with the relevant people. Now, for me, that is a man that knows he's probably not going to be here next season, and probably it's off his own accord because he'll probably resign. I mean, Callum, I just think we're going to go into... Yeah, I can't believe how many managers we've been through. I mean, when we joked last week about being Watford light, but we really are, aren't we? If this is the end of Brian Wright already, if he's decided he don't want to manage Huddersfield Town Football Club in League One, which I don't think he does, it's just mad.
Well, surely this again goes to short-sightedness. I would hope that we would have stipulated at some point in the recruitment process, in the contract, somehow a way to tie them in for a period of time, even with relegation or not. But knowing this football club, that won't have happened, and we'll just be sort of bumping on to the next incident or resignation, and then we'll go through the whole recruitment process again. And then when we get to Christmas in League One and we're sat in 12th, we'll sack another manager, and we'll do it again, and we'll do it again. It's going to be the same thing over and over again until we have a proper shake-up. Not even starting with the playing squad, starting with the boardroom. We need to... Kevin, I appreciate, is not here all the time, and he's been given information that he believes he's been told by people that he trusts that is correct. And I will name their names, Cartwright and Baldwin, the 2 that I'm mainly going after here. They're sort of running the show.
You mean Edwards? You mean Edwards, not
Edwards.
Baldwin?
Edwards. Who's Baldwin?
Baldwin was the guy that sold the club.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's really going on anymore.
They are both bald, so, easy mistake.
Whoever the 2 are that are currently there this week, them. they're obviously making the decisions day in, day out on behalf of Nagel because he's not there managing the whole thing full time. So they are the ones surely responsible for getting the decisions wrong. So they should then face the consequences of that. No?
Yeah. No, I agree. You see, I blame, and you know, I hate getting into blame culture, but we have to in this situation where I put more of the blame on Mark Cartwright because it's been his decision, I believe, to hire certain managers. I think he wanted Darren Moore. Darren Moore didn't work out. Should have been sacked after the Leeds game. Wasn't. I think Edwards is more of an operator at a higher level. If I'm honest, I think a lot of his responsibilities is the wider general picture and to do with a stadium, which also hasn't been completed, by the way. So at the moment, he's failing in his operational task. But, you know, where do we go from here? This is the thing, right? Because it sounds like Brian Wright don't want to be here, Zach. I don't know who the hell we get in as manager. I mean, people are saying give it Worthy. Worthy don't want it. And I get why he don't want it because he's seen what happened to his mate Schofield. So, you know, like as a football club, we're just down the Swansea, aren't we? Really, literally, we've been beaten by Swansea, and now we're down the Swansea because to go into League One without a manager, and obviously we're playing devil's advocate because he's not left the club yet, but to me it sounds like he's going to leave the club, and to have people in a position that don't know League One at all. I mean, even if Brian Wright stays, he don't know League One. He didn't know the Championship, but he definitely don't know League One. And League One's a difficult division. I don't think it'll be the hardest division that it's been in the last couple of years because there's certain clubs that have gone out of it. But we all know League One's a slog, and you can't play pretty football in League One. And that's the problem I've got, Zach, that I don't know as a football club where we're heading. And I don't know how big the slide's going to be. And that's the scary thing.
Yeah, and again, mate, it comes down to, you know, we hear about the strategy of the club, and I really don't know what that is. I use the word naivety. In any organisation, you say that you don't hold Jake Edwards accountable. He's the CEO of the organisation.
No, I do. I do, but I don't hold him responsibility. I don't hold him fully responsible for the managerial mistakes that have happened. I think 60, 70, 80% of that has to go on the football operations side of the business, which it does lie with Mark Cartwright.
It does, mate, but Jake Edwards is his manager, right? And he needs to. He's a CEO of the organisation, right? And he's hired Mark Cartwright. He's got to stand by Mark Cartwright, and he signs off the decisions, right? So the book's got to start and stop with Jake Edwards. And we can say, you know, he's a good talker. He might be good for the marketing side of the business in America, but I do not give a flying about any of that. While we're on the slide that we're on, and you're absolutely right. Where this slide ends, mate, nobody knows. And if anybody thinks that it ends here with us bouncing straight back, he's naive. Much bigger clubs than us have gone down there, and they've been down there, and they're still down there, right? Pompey, yeah, they've been down there 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years, yeah.
12 years. And I'm gutted we don't get to play them again since 2001 now. I don't think I'm ever going to get to
1998, we haven't since we've played them. It's one of the longest running fixtures.
But yeah, I've never been at Fratton Park, so I'm a bit gutted about that. But yeah, I genuinely don't know where this stops, mate, and I don't know where it, like you say, we're now potentially going to go into next season. If I was someone to put me on the spot now, I'd say there's probably 6 players at a push that I'd keep if we went down. When we go down, Brighton Wright, like you say, who we get in, just be another manager that comes and goes and probably make no connection with them. They'll be gone by Christmas anyway. There's clubs down there, like you say, it's not as tough as it's been, but there's arguably going to be Wrexham who are going to spend brass. There's going to be potentially Birmingham who are going to spend brass.
Yeah.
There's going to be Barnsley who have got the T-shirt and worn it many a times. There'll be Peterborough potentially. Rotherham, who are known for bouncing back. You know, there's 5-6 clubs there that right now are probably better suited to getting out of the League One than we are, because it's the uncertainty, right? And this summer's going to have to be a massive reset button. We're going to have to hit the reset button. And when I mean hit it hard. get out all the rotten eggs out of the club and just start afresh. Because if we continue the way we've been going for the last 36 months, it's honestly, we could be down there for a considerable period of time. And look, I might eat my own words, right? We might have the summer that we've all been dreaming of, where we go down, we rebuild, we come back up, we do an Ipswich, we do a Luton, we do a Cov. I know they're not quite made it, but there's examples that have been rotten and gone down and come back and come back stronger.
Yeah,
but it's a huge task for whoever takes it on, whether it be Jake Edwards and Mark Cartwright under Kevin, or he gets another couple of people in. Honestly, I would not want that job. Genuinely wouldn't want that job. Where to start? I wouldn't even know where to start with it all. Like we know what I mean now. We're 4 months off next season starting, and there's a lot of work to do, mate.
Callum, one of the problems is players' contracts. A lot of them run to 25, 26. So a lot of players aren't out of contracts in the summer. How the hell are we supposed to sell players that are not worth really anything? And how are we going to get them off as books? That's the worrying thing. We need like Zach says, probably a 75% squad change, probably around 7 to 8 million spending on it at least, as a bare minimum. And yet we can't get rid of our 60% of a squad.
Yeah, and I don't think that the new owners anticipated just how much of a loss-making venture this summer might have to be, because the only way that we're going to shift, they've not exactly been putting themselves in the shop window, so the only way that we're going to shift some of these players is to either pay them off, release them on as free agents, or we're going to have to try and sell them for lower than what their valuation is.
Yeah,
so that's the only way that they're going to get sold. A couple of players will probably go for a bit of money. Your likes of Hellick, maybe Nichols, Thomas, but other players that I don't know whose contract runs till when. I don't know what sort of players we're looking at, but it's like trying to flog a dead horse, really, isn't it? It's,
yeah. I mean,
I'm going to clubs and go, yeah, this will be good for you, mate. You really want this player that's shipped God knows how many goals in Championship last year.
Tell you what, Stoke got rid of Tom Edwards, so anything's possible, mate.
Yeah, true. That is true.
You see, I've made a list here, right? And you can disagree. We'll do a disagree or agree, right? So players, I think we need to keep. So must keep, and I think will stay, right? So I think Chris Maxwell will stay, and I think he'll become first choice keeper. Do we agree? Disagree?
Agree.
I'd keep Jacob Chapman. I think he's had a fantastic spell at Rochdale on loan. I think he can become the number 2 young keeper, upcoming keeper. Agree? Disagree?
Agree. Yeah, not wrong with that.
Yeah. Matty Pearson, I think, will be fine in League One for the ability that he is. League One, you're not asking him to pass the ball around at the back. I think it is the division that it is. So I think we have to keep him. But with the proviso, we can hopefully sign better ball playing centre backs. I mean, he's still contracted anyway, so we're probably not going to be able to get rid of him.
Yeah,
I'd keep him, and like I said, but just don't play him right back. For God's sake, don't play him right back.
Huggy, mate, play a coach. Play a coach. He can probably still do it in League One, but I'd give him limited playing time and get him in the backroom staff. Maybe you disagree with that one.
I'd just say thanks for your service. Great guy.
But bye-bye.
No. There's no sentiment, right? I mean, I'm fed up of like what.
Yeah.
Why are we saying he's a good coach? I don't get that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying he's a good.
Fall away and shout at people.
I'm not saying he's a good coach. I'm just. All I'm saying is that there is a pathway of former players going into coaching at this football club.
That's why we're facing League One. Get rid.
Okay, get rid. Right, Callum?
Yeah, I'm with Zach. Get rid.
Okay. Bojan, I think you have to keep. I think my opinion of Bojan is you feed him a few steak and chip dinners, you get him in the gym, you bulk him up, could become a very good, useful centre forward in League One.
Get rid.
Get
I
ready.
don't. I haven't seen enough of him to make an educated opinion here. But I'd say, given the fact that we've signed him in, I'd say he'd got 3 years left to run on his contract. So I think we've got no choice but to keep him.
Okay, Jaheim Headley, I think can become a decent fullback in League One.
I'd keep him. Yeah, keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same there.
Kasumu, I think by order of his contract, I think we'll probably have to keep him.
And look, I mean, if he's going to play, yes, keep him, and we'll come on to what we need to add in. I'm sure keep him. Yeah.
Okay. Ollie Turton, I think, why not? He keep him because before he got injured, he was probably one of our better players. I think if he can get back to those levels, he can become one of the best fullbacks in League One. Don't see why he can't.
I both agree and disagree because at Black he was quality.
That's not allowed.
They see that I would keep him because he was quality at Blackpool, right?
Yeah,
and that was in League One, so he's done it at that level. But I would disagree purely on the fact that he appears to be made of glass.
No, he's not James Vaughan.
He's not far off.
He's not far. He's not. We'll call him double glazing Turton. And this is a controversial one. Ben Wiles, but give him a full pre-season, and he has to prove himself.
I completely agree. I mean, I've seen parts of him where I think he's a good place. He needs to get fit. Like if you can get that unfasten that caravan that he tows around with him, there's a footballer in
there. Pat Jones, young player. He's not done anything wrong.
Not done anything, but keep him.
Yeah.
Okay. Tom Lee's very much for the same reasons as Matty Pearson.
Yeah.
Reece Healy, I think. We same as Bojan, but I do actually think Reece Healy will score a number of goals in League One if given service.
Definitely keep him. Yeah, just my opinion, but
Yeah.
What do you count?
I'd say he's on trial till January.
Okay. The other ones are young lads, mainly Aina, Olaganjo, Phillips, Ipienda, Belagambi, Stonefalls, Ondo, and Aqua. The young lads, I don't think we can rate them really because we've not really seen enough of them. I'm just going off a list of lads that have made appearances or been on the bench at least in the last sort of year and a half.
I think everyone's been on bench. I think I've had a spell on bench at some point.
So the next list is must keeps, but I think they will actually go whether they're for money. Okay,
Yeah.
Lee Nichols, I think we'll sell him. I think we'll probably get what, $1 million, $2 million for him. I think he'll go. I think he'll want to go. He's 29. He'll probably want to play his last couple of years in the Championship, won't he?
Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah.
But I will keep him. These are ones that I would keep, but I don't think we'll have a choice.
I would agree that we should keep him, but with all these players, even some of the ones on the previous list, I don't think any of them are going to actually want to stay around. They're just going to have to stay around because the atmosphere at the club is dire. Why would you want to stick around?
Yeah, Helic, I think he's probably the one that I would try my hardest to keep.
No chance. He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he is. But you would try, wouldn't you?
Yeah, crossing off is gone. Yeah.
Jack Radoni.
Yeah. I think I'd hope he'd stay. I mean, he's got ability, he's got potential, but I mean, his numbers aren't great out of this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does a lot. He huffs and he puffs, and he's definitely got probably the most technically gifted player we've got. But again, he's still, he's still got a lot to prove, and he's only young. So if I were him, I'd definitely stick around for another year. And
I think in terms of Jack Radoni and his numbers, that's something that can be partially attributed to the managerial changes as well, because that position that he's been playing in has been in such a state of flux between different tactical styles. He's been asked to do pretty much 3 or 4 different things all season. So, we don't really know, apart from we saw it last year back end, that is his best position and the way we get the most out of him.
Mm-hmm. But we don't let Thomas off, do we? We don't seem to let Thomas off for the same numbers. He's played 3 or 4 different positions. He played in a front three, played right back in a back five. He's played right wing, played left wing.
Yeah. So what I'm saying about Radoni is that within his role, he would be expected to be able to play those different areas. But with Sorba Thomas, I've always said we categorically shouldn't be playing him as anywhere near the back line. I think he should be playing up forward.
Yeah. No, I won't. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's hard, isn't it? Because they've played so many positions. Like, I just like to have a manager for a season where they establish formation. And
I don't think that's ever been the fault of Sorba Thomas when he's been played out.
No.
Played poorly. I'd blame the manager for that.
For me, Jack Radoni is a number 10, a centre attacking midfielder, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Keep him though. Yeah, keep him.
Sorba Thomas, I think I'd keep him, but I think he'll be off.
Yeah, I think he'll go as well, but I'd keep him if we can, yeah.
Cal?
No.
Cal can't really say out now, can he? Because
I like him as a footballer, but I don't like him as a person. I think his ideas of his level inside his own head is way above where he actually is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, Steve. You wouldn't have seen it, Zach, I don't think. But when people were chanting that you're not fit to wear the shirt, he gave it a little bit of that.
No, apparently so. Yeah, but what was said? Do we know?
No, I don't know. I think it was just in reaction to the 4 stands chanting you're not fit to wear the shirt. But it's just another one of them things where his attitude is so poor.
Yeah,
I just don't get why. Like, they're in a privileged position as footballers, and I just don't get it. Me, like, we're paying their wages. It's our club. Like, they'll just move on. Right? And that I didn't see that, and I didn't know that happened. Mate. That's just
yeah. It didn't surprise me, Cal, when I saw that it had happened. But to me, at the end of the day, you're playing for our club, like Zach says. Shut up and do your job. And if you had done your job properly, we wouldn't be in this mess in the first place, would we?
Yeah, exactly.
Brodie Spencer, I think clubs will be in for him. I think I genuinely, he was the only player that before he went off that sort of came out with any credit for the first half. I thought he put 3 or 4 magnificent tackles in and made one unbelievable block that probably would have been the first goal in the first half.
Yeah, I think he's one of the ones that I'd try and fight the hardest to keep hold of.
Yeah. You agree, Zach?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. He's head and shoulders above anything that the academy's produced for a while. Yeah.
Bolker. I think he'll just go back to Germany. Why would he? Why does he want to?
His hamstrings with him.
He's probably never heard of like Stockport, has he? But
honestly, Matt, how many games he played for?
No, less than that. I think.
I won't miss him.
I don't know what I've never seen him in the flesh.
I think I've seen him play twice, and what?
Yeah. I think by the nature of his contract, though, we'll either have to.
You put him in the must keep, Steve.
No, I've put him in the keep, but I think he'll leave. And the only reason,
the must keep.
No. And the only reason I think he's in the keep is because I think we've got no choice because of his contract. But
and if he can stay fit, mate, the glimpses that I've seen him in, he's rapid, isn't he? And he'll probably cause some, be decent in League One. But again, it's keeping him fit. Like, it's the same old story, isn't it?
So these are leaves now. These are get rid ofs, never want to see again, basically. Josh Ruffles, he's just nondescript fullback. I think you can get 1 million of them in League One, to be honest. Agree, disagree?
I mean, when the fact we released him and re-signed him blew my mind in the first place. So.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that.
I think we just keep him so we don't have to re-sign him.
Save all the paperwork.
But again, I mean,
so much time.
I think again, I can't really judge him. I haven't seen him in that long. Like, you kind of forget that these players even are on our payroll. Don't you? I
honestly forgot until recently that Ollie Turton was still a town player.
Yeah,
I mean,
we signed Ruffles. Has he played since we re-signed? I can't even remember. Anyway, honestly, I probably couldn't care about that, to be fair.
Okay, Bergzorg, we've got a £1 million agreed fee, I believe, with Mainz, is it where they came from?
Managerial.
Mainz, where they came from.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I really hope it's not an Mbemza type thing or where we've got to sign him, because that'll blow my mind out.
It will be.
Because he wouldn't want to be here. He definitely don't want to play in League One. And I don't think there's not many Town fans that actually want him.
For £1 million, I will get on my push bike and cycle him back to Mainz.
Right. You've heard that. Everybody. We've got a GoFundMe page now.
Put your hands in your pockets.
Zach, yeah, we agree with that.
I can't disagree, mate. It's frustrating because when he first came here, honestly, I thought there was a footballer then, and I still think there is. I genuinely still think there is, but just the decision making is absolutely atrocious.
Tom Edwards.
Next.
Okay. We won't waste any time on that. Josh Karoma. Now, this is a bit like the Ben Wiles thing, bit controversial. Some people still like him. I personally think in 4 seasons he's had the combined effort of 1 good season. He had half a good season under Corberan and half a good season under Warnock. And I think that's your lot. So I will just cut my ties and say, cheers, Josh. Thanks for making the amount of appearances you have, but you need a fresh challenge, and we need to recoup your wages and pay out for somebody who's going to be able to finish the chances like you had against Swansea.
Yeah, I think he's one of them. I wouldn't actively try to sell him, but I wouldn't stand in anyone's way if they came in for him.
Yeah, Zach.
I think being on your list of thanks very much, see the back of him is a little bit harsh for Josh Karoma because he's played under 7 managers since he's been at Huddersfield, right? And he had a season out on loan at Portsmouth, right?
Which was terrible. Yeah, terrible.
Okay, right. And he's clearly a confidence footballer, right? I mean, anyone can tell that. Warnock came in, put an arm around his shoulder, mate, and look how he changed. And he played him in the same position week in, week out. If he had a bad game, he started the next week, and he won him games. But he doesn't get a run of games, and if he does, he's playing in a front three where he's been asked to defend and attack without a striker to blast the ball to, and I think he's a squad player in League One for us. Like, I think we need to be careful, right? That we're not shooting ourselves in both feet.
We've done that already.
But by that I mean, like, I don't think anyone can doubt Josh Karoma. Genuinely, I think he looks like he cares, right? One of the few that do, and I think coming off the bench in League One, mate, I think he can make an impact. I do. I genuinely do. But if he's happy to be a squad player, then I'd keep him. If he's not, then he needs to move on and get a fresh start. And then he's not going to start for his week in, week out in League One, I don't think. So, honestly, mate, with that one, I don't know. I'm probably agreeing with Callum there in a long about way. I think it needs to be what's best for the club and what's best for him. And I don't know.
Do you think it was harsh, Cal, that I've got him on this list? Does he?
I think it was one of them where, like, he's not done enough to justify not being on the list, but he's got the talent to be a good footballer if, the wind's blowing in a certain direction at a certain time on a certain day. You know what I mean? It's like it's hit and miss. So I wouldn't begrudge you saying he should go, but he's not the worst. He's not one that I would be actively pushing out the door.
Yeah.
I'll get your point. I'll get your point, Steve. Yeah.
Diarra don't want to be here anyway. Won't sign a new contract. To be honest, I don't think we'll ever hear of him again. He'll probably go back to France and be, might play in League 2 or whatever. But I just don't. I have no idea about him.
They did now second in table in France, aren't they?
Oh, who's that?
Brest. Steve is playing.
Oh, Steve Mounier. Yeah, but I'd have Steve Mounier back in an heartbeat in League One.
Yeah, true.
Diarra, Zach, Cal, what we saying?
I genuinely couldn't care.
Cal.
No, I'm saying that.
Yeah. Alex Matos is loan will end. He'll just go back to Chelsea. So I don't think he'll be coming back. Kean Harrop, this is what do we say about Kean? My God, he just doesn't help himself, does he? I don't know what situation the lad is in, and obviously we can't really comment too much about whatever's going on personally. He's been suspended for 4 months due to gambling. Had his issues in the past. To me, I think we just cut his losses and we say, look, you've kind of had your opportunity to prove yourself and you didn't. I don't know, boys. What do you think?
I agree completely. You know, we're at the end of the road there, I think. Good luck to him, but he's not. Oh God, what do you even say about him? It's so difficult to even talk about because obviously you don't know what's going on. But all I can say is he's not pulled up any trees, has he? And he's not helped himself or his career. So you just say good luck with whatever you do next, and out you go.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah, I don't think if we're keeping Healy and we're keeping Ward and we're keeping Radulovic, I think he needs to move on as well, mate. And then we've got Tyrese, Simpson, and Hudling coming back in.
Hey, we're coming on to them. So you're getting ahead of my list. Next one is Danny Ward. Now I've got him on the leave list, and the reason I've got him on the leave list is right. My opinion of Danny is I think he cares. I actually do think he cares, and Jason, our Leeds United correspondent, went to school with him and knows him very well, and he knows that Danny does care for the football club. So I think he does care. The problem I have with Danny is he going to be as injury prone as what he has been this season? I think if he'd have played more games and not been as injury prone, I'd have probably kept him. But it depends what wage he's on compared to how many games we're going to get out of him.
He's the highest earner, isn't he?
I don't know.
He was at the start of the season. Apparently, he's the highest earner, or he was at the start of the season. So I don't think we won't be able to get rid of him.
You don't think we'll get rid of him?
No, I don't think we can. If he's the highest earner, which by all accounts he is, why would he leave?
But do you want to get rid of him?
Because he's the highest earner. Yeah. If he wasn't the highest earner, he'd be great for League One. He'll score a hatful.
Well, isn't Rhodes the highest earner? Surely
no. Danny Ward is by all accounts, yeah.
Callum?
Which is mad that even them two are being discussed as highest earners. That's crazy, isn't it? But that's the reason we're in that League One. But
I think in terms of the money that Danny Ward's on in League One could maybe be spent better elsewhere. So for that reason,
you're getting rid. Cool. Yeah. Ben Jackson, again, same as Josh Ruffles. Right, I think he'll have a decent career at League Two level, but I don't see it going higher than that.
Out the door.
Yeah. Is that?
Yeah. Again, I'm a little thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yuta Nakayama, good luck in the World Cup. See you later.
Again, yeah, could be a decent League One player, but would he stick around? Probably not.
He don't want to be here.
And so again, it's another one of them. Look at what we could have had, because he has showed flashes of being a really decent player, and I suspect would be good in League One.
Yeah, we're getting very close to the end of the list. You'll be glad to know. Jordan Rhodes. Now, the only thing with Jordan is when he went to Blackpool on loan, he scored a hell of a lot of goals and then got injured. Do we keep him because we think by some miracle he'll rekindle his League One form of 12 years ago and score a lot of goals?
He's out of contract, isn't he?
He's out of contract, yeah.
See, my thinking was, when he went to Blackpool, I was happy for him because he was banging goals and he looked like that was his level. At that point, I didn't genuinely think that we would be going down to League One, and now we are. Looking at Jordan Rhodes and thinking might be a decent option to get him back in the blue and white and get him up front if he can recapture some of the form.
He'll want to start, won't he? He'll want to start games now. He's twilight of his career.
Is he getting rid, Zach?
I think more for him, mate. I think it's.
But he does care as well. I will say that. I think he's.
Yeah, no, I don't, mate. I don't doubt that he does, but again,
Warnock forced him out at the door, didn't he? If we're being honest, Warnock forced him out at the door.
Yeah, of course he did. I mean, It's one of them, innit? Like, he probably could start and score probably 15 to 20 goals for us. But then he could get injured after 2 games, and then we've given another contract. He probably won't want to sign a 1-year contract or want a 2-year contract. Then we end up with a player on books for 24 months again. And I'm just fed up with the club taking risks. I think sometimes we just need, like I say, clear out, mate. So I'm sorry, Jordan. Love you, mate, but yeah.
Kyle Hudlin.
Is that you?
Kyle's face is brilliant on this list.
Can't even believe he's
Still here.
no football.
Okay, Scott High.
Scott by.
Don't Scott Bar.
Oh, he's on form tonight.
You can't do that, Zach. You can't. That's terrible. Sorry about that, Scott.
Isn't he playing in Irish League or something now? Friday Monday. They play Friday Mondays, don't they? Over there? Yeah.
No. Cal? No.
Oh, no.
Okay. Conor Mahoney.
Hey, I tell you what, he's done all right at Gillingham.
He's done all right at Gillingham, hasn't he?
He's done all right, hasn't he? I mean, I forgot we even had him until a couple
I
of
had
weeks ago.
no idea that he was still a town player.
Not lads put in group chat. He's done well at Gillingham. I thought, bloody hell, has he? And then I like him. They want to sign him. So the Scott Maloney that I saw, mate, I can't believe that he's done well. But if he hasn't, fair play to the lad. And that's why I don't play football and he does. Fair play, but nah. See ya.
Yeah, Cal.
I had no idea that he was still a town player. I can't lie.
And the last two is Aaron Rowe and Josh Osterfield, 2 youngsters that
Aaron Rowe's been a crew, hasn't he? Yeah. Don't know. I'd loan him out again.
What, you keep him?
I'd loan him out again. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And Josh Osterfield's been in the academy for about 25 years, and I think he must have played 15 games, like by coming on in the last 5 minutes of games, over the last 2 seasons or whatever. But yeah, so really we're looking at probably 10 players, 11 players max that we all want to keep. It's not a lot, is it, really, in a 25-man squad?
It's enough. Bloody hellfire. I can't sit and watch this for another year. Jeez. I'm surprised if we can come up for 11. I'm going to have to go through that and rewatch this back. I'm sure it must be less than that I want to keep. Must be.
Yeah, I think we disagreed on a few. But yeah, I mean, in future podcasts, we'll talk about where we need to strengthen once the sort of relegation has been confirmed. Just to end on, relegation will be confirmed, by the way, next weekend. If we fail to beat Birmingham and Sheffield Wednesday get a point against West Brom. Sheffield Wednesday beat Blackburn Rovers today 3-1 in. And please, everybody, by the way, go and watch the Blackburn goalkeeper's third goal. It is absolutely tremendous. It's what the EFL is all about. The English Football League is tremendous at times, and that third goal sums it up. That result sort of compounded us. Sheffield Wednesday are on 47 points, just outside the relegation zone. Birmingham are in the relegation zone last, in 22nd position on 46 points, and we are 23rd on 44 points. That means we have to beat Birmingham and then probably get something in the Ipswich game to have a chance of staying in the Sky Bet Championship. Callum, I think throughout the whole podcast tonight, we've pretty much said that we're going down. We all accept relegation and there's apathy around it. But is there any chance there are pundits out there saying, well, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened, but they won't be happening here. It's as simple as that.
Tell you what, though, it's the bloody hope that kills you, isn't it? Yesterday I got a notification through on app and it said Birmingham have scored, and I thought, right, that's nailing coffin here. That's nailing coffin. You know what I mean? Tonight I can go and have that glass of red wine, knowing that we know where we are next year. But then it bloody obviously, I don't know what happened, but this goal didn't stand and it finished 0-0, and I thought, Jesus Christ, there's obviously still a chance.
It's a slow death, innit? It's a slow death, boys, isn't it? It's like poison. Instead of, can we just get a bullet and just,
It's the other teams it's the other teams that have the problem. We're holding up our end of the bargain by losing 4-0 every week. It's the other teams that seem to have the problem. Just let us go down.
Isn't it sad? Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad.
Just have done with us. Just have done with us. If we were an horse, we'd be put down by now. We'd have been shot.
We would. Going into next weekend, I unfortunately am not here. I'm not going to the game. People can call me a part-time supporter if they want. I booked a trip to Scotland 5 months ago with my friend, going whiskey tasting, and
I'd love to be doing that. Much more than I'd like to watch Town and go down.
Tremendous. But the thing is, I booked that trip in anticipation that we'd still have Neil Warnock and be 14th in the division and have no worries about relegation. How wrong I was, but unfortunately, I'm not going to suspend my whiskey tasting trip to go to the John Smiths next week. Are you lads going to go? Are you going to turn up? I think there's a lot of apathy around, probably saying, "What's the point?" I think some will just turn up with seeing what a laugh that they can have, or what's your thoughts?
Go to the pub before, like I always do. Meet my mates, have a laugh, moan. Go to the football, moan. Go home. I mean, it's more. There's more to life than the result. There absolutely is, and we have a joke, we have a laugh on here, but it is what it is, isn't it? And we still go. We'll still all get a season ticket next year. We'll still all be on this podcast moaning that we're 12th in League One, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and we keep going, don't we?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'll probably be going, but I'm not going to the football for the football. You know what I mean? It won't make.
We haven't done that since Carlos left, have we?
Exactly. It won't make or break my afternoon. I'll still have a good day, have a few pints, have a laugh. The football is a secondary thing to me going to the football now. Like what actually happens on the pitch is just.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I enjoy your whiskey tasting, Steve. Anyway, mate.
Yes, I will do. What prediction are we going for against Birmingham?
Oh, Christ.
2-1 Huddersfield.
For God's sake, Zach. No, don't do it to us, mate.
Just because I just think it's Huddersfield Town. We'll still get relegated, right? Because I think Wednesday will win, and then I think well,
it's done if Wednesday win. It's done.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I think I just don't know why. I'd like a Millwall. I said we'd win there and at home, and we didn't. I don't know, mate.
Okay, Cal.
1-0 Town.
How would you? This is quality.
Because it would be the most Town thing, right? To not go down first time, but to go down on final day.
I would love it. I would love it if I'm sat in a Scottish whiskey shop at 5 p.m. and I taste my first sip of whiskey and go, Huddersfield Town are staying in the Championship, because I'm confident that we're going to win.
The other end as well.
2-1 win. We've done it, boys. We've done it. Just finally, we've thanks for everybody who got in contact in the show. We really do appreciate all the comments. There's been far too many to get through, but we'll just show a couple. Michael Brown says, we're already talking as if Huddersfield are down. You have 3 matches left. We actually have 2, Michael. Huddersfield have a massive chance next week to beat Birmingham. Yeah, we do. And it looks like we're all confident that that's going to happen, Michael. So there we go. We've also got Sober Thomas. Do you think he will stay? We've kind of answered that, Charlotte, in terms of, we think we'd like him to stay, but we think he'll probably leave. Warnock Force Roads out, according to Blue Terrier. Kevin Otto apparently says that we're down. They like my surname. Thanks for that, mate. Brilliant. James, it would be the strangest thing I've ever seen for us to stay up. I agree, James. It would be, and I won't be. I'll be seeing even less next week with the whiskey I'll be tasting. So you never know. Zach, what's this one? Zach, decent accent. That lovely. Right.
Cheers,
Well,
mate. Cheers, Kev.
you and Kevin connect on social media.
That's just my other account. Is that Steve?
Right. Okay. And popular viewer to the show, Lee, who always gives me some stick, says hi, Steve. Hi, Lee. Thanks very much for everybody getting in contact. Please like and share the video. Give the boys some love. They've done absolutely fantastic tonight in the face of adversity as Huddersfield lost 4-0 to Swansea City. But as ever with Huddersfield Town, we always look on the positives. The Town are staying up. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you very, very soon, as I'm sure we'll all react to the latest Huddersfield Town win next week. But for now, it's been me, Stephen Downs, your host. I've had Zach Wood, as ever, international extraordinaire, and Callum Scott on the drums. And we'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.